you took these notes. We went over lots of things. We ended with adding integers. We started with a little rule. However, we kind of want to think of everything as adding. But typically, David, when we subtract, we move to the left. So this is just on page 2. If you'll turn to me with page 2, we're literally going to do just this tiny little section here, and then we're going to go outside and practice on page 3. Outside? Yeah, it's actually cooler outside, I promise. But there's like a breeze and it's nice and we can sit in the shade and just relax. I mean, there's flies in here. Flies are much more annoying inside than outside, I promise. All right, so to the left, if they start at -2, subtracting 3 means we're getting more negative. So where do we end up here? -5. So another way to look at this is to think of it as -2 plus a -3, right? Remember on Monday, hopefully, oh, did we not write it down? Oh, maybe we didn't write it down in 7th hour. I'll have to remind them. So when our signs are the same, so signs same, we have to find the sum. So in this case, it makes sense that it's getting more negative. 2 plus 3 is 5. Remember, we also learned that the sign of the biggest absolute value is the sign of the answer. If both of our numbers are negative, remember we're thinking of subtraction as negative, then our answer has to be negative. If both of them are positive, then of course they're positive. But if one's positive and one's negative, we're going with the biggest absolute value. And you'll see that in just a second. So 6 minus 8. We can't really do that. We might have to think of this as 6 plus a -8. Now you're asking yourself, are my signs the same or different? I have a positive and a negative, so my signs are different, right? So we're finding the difference. Big minus little. What's 8 minus 6? What's 8 minus 6? 2. 2, right? But instead of a +2, it's going to be a -2. Notice our bigger number is negative. Okay. Now, this one is just like the first one where our signs are the same. -12 plus a -6. When our signs are the same, we have to find the sum, which means we add them together. So if you didn't know what the sum was, you could put add in parentheses there. Hopefully you've written that already. So what's 12 plus 6? 18. But in this case, our bigger absolute value number is negative. Well, they're both negative, right? So it's got to be negative. 14 minus 7, we can do that, right? What is it? 7. We don't really have to think through that. That's not a tricky one. They're just given one, you know. This one looks a lot like these two examples. -5 minus 10. It's getting more negative. So what is it? Negative what? What's 5 plus 10? 15. It's getting more negative. Same thing here. This looks just like these. What did we do? We found the sum. So 8 plus 2 is what? 10. And is it positive or negative? Negative. It's getting more negative. Same thing with 39. In fact, the exact same answer. You can think of it as -9 plus -1 if you would like. That is -10. All right. So we have some practice here outside. You are going to work on page 3. So refer to pages 1 and 2 for help. Remember, when you're finding the absolute value is always what? Positive. Ordering things, these get a little bit tricky, just try. Yes, question. Yes, you're welcome to work with people. My suggestion is to stay in the shade, which is close to the building. We're not really gonna go past my window because I don't want to disrupt Mrs. Jur's class. We're gonna try and stay in this grassy area. There is a rock and a sidewalk if you prefer the sidewalk, but unfortunately it is in the sun when the sun does come out. But you're welcome to not sit in the grass, but let's not try and run around by birds or, yeah, you're counting the flies. Yeah, it's bad. No, it's like every room. I've never seen birds and flies at the same time. Been crazy town. All right, everybody know what page we're doing? Page 3. So feel free to help each other out, work with each other. Chill quietly when you get done. There's some chalk out there if you want to do that when you get done. I can grab a noodle if you want to whack each other when you get done to practice names. But not till everybody's done. So we got to help everybody get done.